welcome back to our class. We will explain about the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. So hypothalamus and pituitary uh, are the command center of the all endocrine glands. So this is the portion. You can see this portion is a hypothalamic region and this portion is the pituitary gland, and these are the pituitary stalks, and there are lot of nucleuses and a lot of cell types are present in the hypothalamus. So let's going to the pituitary gland also is known as the hypophysis. This is also known as, so in this is our pituitary gland. So this is our pituitary gland, and it is also known as the hypophysis. So this entire complex of the endocrine structure base in the forebrain region. So you can see this is our forebrain region. In the base of that forebrain it is situated. So that is composed of two type of components. One is the adenohypophysis, another is the neurohypophysis. I'll go through these entire details. First we need to know about the common understanding. So so there are two types of one is the adenohypophysis, another is the neurohypophysis. So adenohypophysis is composed of 5 type of cells, or that secretes the 6 type of hormones. So they are adenohypophysis have the 5 type of cells, and they release the 6 type of hormones. 6. So this region is releasing 6 type of hormones, and another region is neurohypophysis. So neurohypophysis release the 2 type of hormones, that is the oxytocin and vasopressin and oxytocin. So that is the brief introduction of that. So now we'll go for the hypothalamic region and their effect on that and how they work. We only focus on this hypothalamic region. So this is our hypothalamus. You can see in that region, like, so this is our hypothalamic region. This is the entire region is known as the hypothalamus. This is the entire region. Is the hypothalamus. So in that region lot of cell types are there. You can see the cell types like neurosecretory cells and the paraventricular cell. So paraventricular cell easily we known as PVN. This is the PVN cell, and then the dorsomedial cell, posterior nucleus, lateral hypothalamic region. This is the region area, and that is the ventromedial nucleus, supraoptic nucleus, and the arcuate nucleus, infundibular nucleus. This is the green region. In that region, that is the infundibular nucleus, and in that side, that is the propio-optic nuclei, and that is the suprachiasmatic nucleus or SCN. So our important two key element, one is the supraoptic nucleus, SON, and another is the PVN or paraventricular nucleus. So SON and PVN, these cell bodies are known as magnocellular, like large cell body. This is the large cell bodies, so these are known as the uh, magnocellular, and they project their axon to the infundibular stalk. You can see these are the different kind of nuclei, but they are supraoptic nuclei. In that region, their axons are in long terminal. Along with that, also in fundibular nucleus. So their axons are too long. So in previous diagram, you can see from the PVN side, this is the PVN, and this is the SON. So their axons is coming to that region. Okay. So that is the magnocellular, and the infundibular stalk as the hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. So this region, this is the known as the hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract, or it's a pituitary stalk, and the primary plexus or hypophyseal portal system is there in that stalk. I'll go coming through that, but now our focus on hypothalamus. So these are the nuclei are there, and you can see there is a small bodied neuron that make releasing hormone and transport this their axon and secrete into the primary capillary plexus. This is a small neuron, this is not long, and I just mark on by red color. So this is the small neuron, so they are projecting in that region. So these are the short neurons, and large body neuron like their AVP and OT transports this hormone down their axon in the posterior pituitary for release. So these are coming to the posterior pituitary region. So we know two of three things in that diagram. One, we will just coming through the where the hypothalamus is in that region, the hypothalamus in that in forebrain region. So hypothalamus in the forebrain region, and there this is the hypothalamus and pituitary. So in that figure, I have just explained the different kinds of nuclei are present, and some of them are long, some of them are short in their axons. So they are long like PVN and SON, and along with the infundibular nucleus, they are projecting their axon to the posterior side of the pituitary, and these are the small neurons, they are projecting on their some of the primary capillary plexus. Hope you can understand this anatomical structure. So these are the neurosecretory cells, like these are the neurosecretory cells, that's why their axons are there, they are releasing some of the hormones like vasopressin and oxytocin, they are releasing from this axon to the posterior pituitary side. Now we going through the one of the major important region, so that is the median region, like this is the known as median eminence. So this is the hypothalamus in top position, the hypothalamus, on the peripheral gland and pituitary and hypothalamus relation. and in that relation we have already discussed the short loop and long loop of that sequence, and with that we will just discuss again about the hypophyseal tract and the primary plexus and the hypophyseal portal system. So it's a kind of pituitary stalk, and in that stalk we will just discuss on that image. So this is the hypophyseal system. So in that hypophyseal system we have market. In that markation you can see these are neurons are coming from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland, and this is the posterior pituitary, and in that lobe the neurons are directly coming here, and their secretion is shown on that diagram. So in that diagram you can see the neurons are directly the secreting the hormones to the and posterior pituitary. So in anterior pituitary, this section is a anterior pituitary, you can see, and in that anterior pituitary, so different kinds of hormones, you know, the cells, different kind of cells are there, like trop cells are there. This is the trop cells. So this is the anterior lobe of the pituitary, and this is the secondary plexus or hypophyseal portal system. So this is the in body there are two type of portal systems are there. We see in the physiology classes. One is the liver and digestive tract related portal system, and the another portal system is there, that is a hypophyseal portal system. In portal system it means it can directly contact with that in that say cellular morphology to the uh, venular system. So in anterior pituitary there these portal system releases the different kinds of hormones. I will discuss later which type of hormones are secreted from that anterior pituitary. We know some of the growth hormone, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormones. These are releasing from the anterior pituitary, and okay. So in posterior pituitary there are two hormones is releasing. One is ADH, antidiuretic hormone, and another hormone is released, that is the oxytocin. So two hormones are released from that posterior pituitary gland. So in that anatomical structure we already discuss about the different kind of nucleus like PVN, paraventricular nucleus, supraoptic nucleus, and the ventromedial nucleus, along with the posterior nucleus, and some of the nucleus have their long axonal terminal, that is the paraventricular, and along with the son, that is the supraoptic nucleus. So these nucleus have their long axonal sequences. These axons are end on the posterior pituitary. So these two hormones are the neurological origin. So other hormones are not neurological directly not secreted from the neurons, but they are secreting from the anterior pituitary. So also two type of hormones are secreted from their anterior pituitary. One will be the inhibin type of hormones, and some of these like stimulatory, and they are opposite of the stimulatory, that is the inhibin type of hormones, they are also secreted from that region. So let's discuss about the different types of hormones that are releasing from this made by the hypothalamus, and that can give the inhibitory signal to the hypothalamus also by the negative feedback mechanism. But now we just concentrate about the hormones and they are releasing hormones. So in hypothalamus you already seen the TRH, the thyroid releasing hormones, and CRH, they are corticotropic releasing hormone, and GnRH, gonadotropic releasing hormone, and these are kind of releasing factors, and along with the GHRH, that is inhibited by the somatostatin. So these are the key factors of that are released from the hypothalamus, and you can just see in the anterior pituitary from these GHRH that inhibited by the somatostatin that release the GAs as the growth hormone. So some of the diseases like acromegaly, in that conditions the tumor in that region of that pituitary that secretes a lot of growth hormones, and the growth hormones that creates their joint like features, and that can show the uh, acromegaly type of disease. So let's talk about the TRH and TRH to the TSH. TSH is the thyroid stimulating hormone, and these hormones released from the anterior pituitary and then comes to through the bloods and works on the thyroid gland, and that acts on the thyroid follicular cells, and that stimulate the thyroid hormone. Thyroid hormone, you know about the T3 and T4. We discuss later the when we will talk about the thyroid gland, and that time we can discuss about the T3 and T4 and how they synthesize the T3 and T4 by the stimulation of the TSH. We will discuss. And now the CRA is the corticotropes, and the corticotropes that releasing the adrenocorticotropic hormones, and that released from the fasciculata and reticularis of the cells of the adrenal cortex, and to make the corticosteroids. You think about the where it is the adrenal glands are there. You know about the kidney structure. In the top of the kidney, one triangular structure is there. In triangular structure, that is called the adrenal gland. In that adrenal gland, the two type of features are there. One is the medulla region, and another will be the cortex region. So these ACTH acts on the this region, this red mark region. I have marked it red. Okay, and then you just think about the gonadotropic hormone, and gonadotropic hormone that stimulate the two hormone. One is the FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and one other is the luteinizing hormone. In the follicle stimulating hormone, that makes the estrus and the progesterones from that can also stimulate the in the luteinizing hormone that make the testosterone also in the Leydig cell, and obviously major functions in the male body, but these are kinds of hormone that can changes their structure, and they are the like minute changes, the estrogen to progesterone, and along with the testosterone also, they have their similar kind of structure, but the few groups are getting changed. So in Leydig cell, that is the testosterone are there, and in FSH, they are ovarian follicular cells. In the ovarian follicular cells, that they make their estrogens and the progesterones and Sertoli cells to innate the spermatogenesis. Okay, now let's talk about the some of the lactotrop, and that release the PRL, prolactin releasing prolactin releasing leukotrops, so lactotrops. So that's found in the mammary gland, and then to initiate the maintain the milk production. So in anterior pituitary, you think about the main six proteins that they are the hormones already that can regulate our body. So that's why it's kind of master gland on that body. So that can control the different cellular functions and the cellular operations. So that's why this is called the kind of master gland in the body. Along with that, we going through the posterior pituitary. In the posterior pituitary section, there will be the two main hormone. One is the ADH. ADH is that adrenodiuretic hormone that helps to water retention in the body, and in that water retention you can see some of these pump, that is the V type of pump that's are responsible for that kind of water retention in the body, and that can stimulated by these hormones. And also OT is released by the posterior pituitary, and that can target organ is the uterus and the breast region. So in ADH works on the collecting duct. So it's a attached with that loop, you can say nephron part in the body. So you can say the hypothalamus and pituitary hormones are the one of the key master regulator in the body. So in that lesson, it's kind of short things, and I give the overview of that particular anatomy of these features, and along with the some of the basic functional operationals in that sections.